Fashion design in Namibia has reached a new pinnacle. In a moment that marks both history and heritage, one Namibian designer has stepped onto one of the world's most iconic runways. Fresh off her groundbreaking debut at Paris Fashion Week, we spotlight the visionary behind House of Poulton, Melissa Poulton, whose talent, courage, and creativity are propelling Namibian fashion onto the global stage. Today, we're joined by a true pioneer of Namibian fashion. Her journey from early passion to international acclaim is nothing short of inspiring. Melissa Poulton is in the studio to talk to us about her creative vision and what this moment... Yeah, okay. Today we are joined by a true pioneer in Namibian fashion. Her journey from early passion to international acclaim is nothing short of inspiring. Melissa Poulton is in studio to talk to us about her beginning, her creative vision, and what this monumental moment means for her and Namibia. Melissa, welcome. How are you doing?
Thank you so much for having me.
It's a great pleasure.
I'm doing good. I'm doing good, yeah.
All right, so for viewers who may not know you, tell us, who is Melissa Poulton?
Okay, hi everyone. I'm Melissa Poulton. I'm a Namibian fashion designer and creative director of House of Poulton, which is my fashion brand, which is owned by myself.
Yes.
Yeah.
So House of Poulton has become one of, the biggest fashion names in Namibian fashion. What inspired you to create your own fashion brand, and what was that journey like?
So I can start with the story where it transpired from, what made me want to be a fashion designer. I've told the story a couple of times actually. So when I was younger, I watched this movie called 101 Dalmatians. I think everybody knows this movie. We had a school trip and we went to go watch this movie. I was a young little girl, I think 8 or 9 years old, and I just fell in love with the entire movie itself. I fell in love with Cruella de Vil.
Okay.
Yeah, it's such a strange thing to say that somebody would fall in love with the evil
villain,
character,
yeah.
the villain. But I didn't really see her villainy. I saw her creativity. I saw her sketching. I saw the glam. And, I saw the beauty of it. So, and I really fell in love with her story. So I really wanted, and then from that day, I decided I wanted to be a fashion designer. I didn't want to be a villain, but I wanted to be someone that created beautiful pieces.
Wow.
And other than that, it wasn't just that movie that influenced me. I have a lot of family members, my aunts, my mother, very high fashionable ladies. And I had one specific aunt. She had a closet, such a huge closet full of clothes and shoes and everything, and that closet was really my playground. And I loved being in that closet, and I loved doing all of these things. So there was a lot of influence that led up to my decision of becoming a fashion designer. But ultimately it started with Cruella de Vil's story, and from there I saw creativity in everything around me, from the influences from my mother, my aunts, clothes, everything. My dad even had like a little box for me, not a little box, a big box, where he put all my toys and he put fabrics and he put whatever I wanted, he put in that box, and I created my own playground with every item that was in that box. I even made little rocketkies for my dolls that I had. I had a big doll collection. So I really had a lot of influence that made me make my decision as a teenage girl and as an adult.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I learned two things. We all watched that movie, but the rest of us were focusing on the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Because
not necessarily.
We watched it, but we didn't see it the same way.
Yeah, I didn't see it the same way. And a lot of times, as children, people would ask you, what do you want to be when you grow up? What do you want to be when you grow up? Then I would say, I want to draw, or I want to be a fashion designer. I later learned what Cruella de Vil was. So I used the word fashion designer. So, yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And everyone else was like, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a doctor. And I'm just like, what is that? I don't want to be a doctor.
So you knew from the age of 8 that you want to do fashion design?
Basically from the age of 9. Yeah, I knew that's what I
younger
wanted.
than most of us. A lot of us went through all the career paths. At some point I wanted to be a lawyer, I wanted to be a teacher, policeman, policewoman, firewoman, you name it.
Yeah.
And then
all I knew was that I wanted to be creative. So even on school, my mother made sure I had the best education. And I was at a private school. Art was one of my main subjects, and all of my extramurals had art in. So every activity that I did had some sort of art type of thing going on.
And it's beautiful to see that, you know, your support system were actually backing your dream, because in Namibia particularly, people aren't keen on having their children follow the arts. But for you, like you said, your dad had this box where he'd buy you fabrics and things to help fuel your imagination. Your mother helped you, like, in terms of ushering you into an artistic school career. So that's really beautiful to see. But in terms of, you know, it's one thing to know that, you know, I'm an artistic person, I love art, I like to create, but it's another for you to actually put in work to make it a career. What was that turning point for you where you realized I can actually establish a brand in the arts?
So I did my studies in Cape Town, right? Like I said, my mom wanted to make sure I had some type of paperwork and that, you know, I learned the proper standard how to do things. So I studied in Cape Town. I lived there for about 4 years. Once I completed my studies, I was looking for a job, and I actually wanted to infiltrate myself in the South African fashion industry, right? And it was so hard. Like, it was not easy. It's still today. It's very, very difficult to get yourself into that sphere. So and then I was struggling to look for a job. I was about 6 months without a job, and then my parents were like, no, you need to now start applying in Namibia or something. And at the time when I finished my studies, we didn't really have a fashion industry. There wasn't anything really going on. There were a few designers, you know, the key ones that were there. So I applied for a job, and I got the job at a factory, right? And I was at this factory for about 3 months, and not even 3, I think it was 2 months, really. And my soul was just tired. I was just like, this cannot be it. But I learned a lot in that 2 months. I learned a lot, like how to do production on a mass scale. So that skill, I learned that skill from that factory. I'm very grateful for those 2 months that I worked at that factory, because that skill, I took it and I brought it onto my business.
So there's a reason God sent you there.
Yeah, there's a reason God sent me there for that short time being. But thank goodness for me that I discern things really quick. I don't stay long in a space that's not meant for me. And I remember at the time I would complain to my dad constantly, I can't do this, I can't do this. And he was the one that told me, you know what, leave the job and just start your business. Just start your business, because my dad was a businessman. So I just left my job, I got my first client, and from there on, it just kept on growing. And he even created my first studio space in our garage for me. That's you know, it's really important to have this type of support. What did this mean to you, to have, you know, people actually backing you and believing in your dream before you even put it into action? They already believed in you. It's really amazing. A good support system is really, really necessary. And lucky for me, my dad was a visionary. And my dad was a businessman. He could see that you could do business with anything. If you decided today you wanted to be a fashion designer, you can create business from that. And he was also the one that told me, my dad used to call me OC. Then he would tell me, OC, the skills, what did you learn at this factory? Can you take this skill and create it into your own business? So that's how he would see things, and it's very important to have that, especially if you're a creative, for somebody to push you, because it's so hard. We sometimes forget, and you know, we are so focused on being creative. We don't think about the business aspect of it.
And like
strategy and how to move forward. So I was very fortunate and very lucky to have my father by my side to really push that business mindset into myself, even though I am a creative. And sometimes he would tell me, you know, this story is not going to work. You need to now move. You need to shift your situation, because at the end of the day, you also need to make money. You need to remember that you can't just be making creative things, but you're not making money. So also be smart how you do your things.
So real.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of talented people who might not make it, not because their work is not good, but just because they don't position themselves well enough and they don't strategize. So it's really
it's very important. And I was really fortunate, and it really felt amazing. And me thinking back to my journey as to where I started, if I look back, my father was really my pillar that really pushed me and assisted me and showed me the direction that I needed to go.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Now, fast forward, we are breaking new grounds. You know, you made history. This is no small job. This is no small accolade. You were the very first Namibian to showcase at Paris Fashion Week.
Yes.
How did you feel when you first realized that this is actually about to happen?
I won't lie, I was very nervous and I was afraid. I was very afraid of what the outcome might be. Would I make connections? Would people be interested in my product? It's a whole new space. How do they do things over there? We don't know how things are working over there. And it's a whole new industry that I'm stepping into. So I was also overthinking a lot, and then there was a lot of pressure, and it was just a lot that was going on at the same time, and there was a lot of feelings that was happening. But overall, I was very excited, and you know, I was pushing to get this dream, to get it done, and you know, to reach that top part of my goal, so that I can move on to my next goal, which will be now for the next 5 years or the next 10 years. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Namibia is very proud of you.
Yeah.
Well, take us to I lost my question. Okay.
Yeah.
Like I said, Namibia is very proud of you.
Yeah.
So being a Namibian who at that stage was an ambassador, you know, to the world, how did it feel knowing that you were carrying basically the pride and the spirit of Namibians along with you on this journey?
I felt very proud, firstly, to be Namibian. I love my country. I love Namibia. Namibia is the best place to be and to grow up in.
Yeah.
And I think I expressed it a lot as well on my journey, going to Paris Fashion Week, and also what I showcased there and what I tried to display there. I really tried to focus on our Namibian landscapes. I even tried to get sponsors on board, like the Namibian Tourism Board, all of those people, ONL Leisure, to really show off what our country has in terms of luxury and leisure. So I felt really proud. I am still a proud Namibian. And it felt really, really amazing. Really, it really did. And it felt amazing to be a creative in Namibia, representing Namibia.
A creative in the world.
Yes, in the world, taking
Namibia
to the world.
Come on,
not just sports, not just mining, not just diamonds. It was actually fashion and creativity that took Namibia now on the global stage for Paris Fashion Week. And funny enough, a couple of designers actually called me like last week. Some of these Fashion Week entities have been approaching them to also go and showcase. So I feel like I really opened the door for people to see the talent that's in Namibia.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well done. I think that's a legacy that you are going to leave the industry with in future, that people can always, you know, look back to and say, Melissa did that. Pioneer.
So I'm really proud. I'm proud of myself for doing that, and the ultimate goal is really to get Namibia on the map.
So we only saw, you know, the looks on the runway. We saw the models, you know, looking good. We didn't see what went on behind the scenes. Take us through a moment which has stuck with you from behind the scenes, be it on the runway or somewhere along that journey.
A moment. I guess when we first got there, and they told me I need to pack off my clothes put my clothes on the rail so that we could do fittings. I think that was a very special moment. It was the ultimate moment that told me you are here, you are actually here. And I was placing my product on a rail in Europe. So I was basically, if I think of it like in a very spiritual way, I was bringing something from my hometown, from my heritage, and I was placing it upon like a global rack. Yeah. So I took it in that way, and it was a very special, beautiful moment for me. I even have a picture where, it's very symbolic, and it was the first step to House of Polton and Namibia reaching global heights. Yeah.
So you've mentioned earlier that, after you showcased, there were some designers that were calling and, asking if they could showcase as well, which is, a very big stepping stone, showing other designers that it is possible, it can be done, and it can be done by you from Namibia. So how do you think you showcasing or your collection being seen at Paris Fashion Week has sort of changed the perspective of fashion designers outside and industry contributors in general when it comes to Namibian fashion?
I think overall Namibian fashion is really sort of forgotten by other African continents and by on the global stage in Europe and America. And it's sort of like we're not there yet. We're not noticed yet, And not like South Africa and Ghana and all of those other countries, like they really, in Nigeria, they're really booming right now in the fashion industry. So I feel like me showcasing has put Namibia on the map, to be noticed, has put other Namibian designers also to be noticed, for them, these fashion people to research, so there is Namibia. Namibia is the country with the diamonds, with the green hydrogen, with the oil that's happening, with the beautiful landscapes. So what is Namibia's story? What's going on there? Are there more designers that we can tap into? So I really feel like me going has really opened that door. And now maybe, and I hopefully our Namibian story can finally be told through fashion as well, because we are also part of the African continent, and we have so much beautiful heritage stories and so much going on. So
Beautiful.
I really,
because Namibia is one of those countries that are, like you mentioned, sort of hidden.
Yes.
So unless you mention it's neighboring South Africa or something along those lines, people don't really know what's happening.
They don't know. They really don't know, because even the time when I was there, we met like a couple of people, and I would say I'm from Namibia. Okay, where is that? And then I would have to explain, and I hated the fact that I had to say we are next to South Africa. I hated saying that. I just want us to be known
as
Namibia.
But at least, I think at least 5 people.
Yes,
must
at least
know about
a few.
Namibia.
Yes, a few people do know. Yes, there are a few people. Yeah.
All right. Talk to us about your collection. You mentioned briefly that you really wanted to showcase the beauty of Namibia through its nature, some of its resources. Your collection was called La Dolce Vita.
Yes.
What was the inspiration?
So I have different categories that I design according to under House of Polton, and one of the categories is zest, which is lemons. So a lot of my categories are nature-based and from my surroundings, but overall very nature-y based. So zest is lemons, and I thought to myself, okay, I really want to do something lemony. And La Dolce Vita, I love Italy, and I love my country, Namibia. Namibia has the beautiful sunset, beautiful dunes. So there's a lot of yellow that also goes on in Namibia, right? And we have our Namibian sun. And so I wanted to combine the Namibian sun and the beauty that you find in that. And I wanted to combine it with Italy's romanticism and the lemons. They have a lot of lemon trees there, and like really try and tie the two together. So that's what the ultimate story was. And how I tell the Namibian landscape story, with every collection that I create a fashion film which then shows off the Namibian landscape, but I try and tie the story together. So for this collection, we shot our story in Ludritz and
I saw those visuals,
and at Komanskop ghost town as well. So it's basically lemons in the desert from a ghost town, which is Namibia is almost like a ghost forgotten place, and then it evolves into this beautiful, you know, going onto the international stage, because Ludritz has the Diaz Cross, which was back then it was the place where they did trading with the European shipments and stuff that came in. So this was symbolic to me, like from this point where shipment and dealings were and exports were done. So I wanted to also feature that as well in the film. Yeah, so it has a lot of symbolic meaning. Like if I really tell you the story, and if you know a bit about Namibian history, then you will get the idea behind it.
And I think it's also perfect timing for you to have selected Ludritz as your venue, because like you're saying, it's seen as this dead area, forgotten town, but it's now coming alive. There's so many business ventures that are happening there right now, so that also ties in brilliantly with your story. So there seems to be a lot of work that goes into this. Like this, you know, you just see things coming together, but you don't realize that everything was selected intentionally. There's pieces that needed to be put together, you know, that tie in well to tell this story. So what was your creative process like in terms of like your collection, how you're putting out your message into the world, how you're representing this collection and Namibia on a global stage? How did this vision come about?
So yeah, it takes a lot of research, and it takes a lot of thought process as well. All I knew is that I really ultimately wanted to tell my story from Ludritz's perspective as well. So I sort of built up on that as well. And ultimately research is very important, and I don't know how to explain how the creative process at the end of the day comes together, but I just knew it happened and it came together, and it was about a 2-year process to get the creativity, to get all the story elements to, you know, combine together well. So it's not just the thing of, okay, I'm waking up today and I have this idea and then boom, that's it. You execute. No, it's like really a process that you go through. And like it starts like from choosing your color palette, what is your storyline, what inspired the story, and like what message are you really trying to get out there. So and another element that I added onto the collection, which I feel like, I don't know if people noticed it or not, the Ondelela material. I tried to create my own version of a luxury type of Ondelela material with the stripes, with the blue and the yellow and the white, with the Dolce Vita tying together with the and I added my frills as well, my own tie to it.
Being a creative is tough.
It's tough, it's really tough.
You put so much work into it just for people to maybe notice.
Or maybe understand what's going on. But it's really important to try and tell the story over and over, and then they finally get it.
Beautiful. So we've spoken about how your contribution at Paris Week has changed, you know, for Namibians, has opened doors for Namibians. But what has this experience done for your brand, House of Polton, in particular?
So I'm still waiting for all of the opportunities to arise, but I have gotten a few phone calls, emails, and I'm not gonna say much. I'm not gonna say too much, but there are definitely opportunities that are starting to arise, and definitely I can see how my life is going to change. It's already hectic for me coming back, and like I've been so busy up until, and it's like back to back interviews, speaking to different people, and you know, trying to create different opportunities for myself. So definitely has a huge impact on my business, and definitely a huge change. So I'm looking forward to the future. all I know is there's a lot of big things coming.
And
Yeah.
we will definitely be
Yeah.
waiting to hear more about that.
Yeah.
So you came back to Namibia and you just hit the ground running. You continued moving. There was no time to rest because
Yeah.
rest
there
is for
was-
the rich.
Rest is for the weak.
Rest is for the weak.
Rest is for the weak. Yeah.
But you know, it's December and the year is coming to a close. Do you have any pending projects that we should be looking forward to, or what can we expect from you between now and beginning of next year?
Currently, no. There's no project. I closed my studio last week. Friday was our
Yes.
last working day.
Yes, you should.
And then I'm just really going to take this time to really get myself together and really think how I'm going to go forward with all of the things that are currently on my plate. Yeah, so there isn't really anything that's
Yeah.
going to be in the beginning of the year, but maybe for March.
Okay,
Yeah.
that will definitely
Yeah, so
keep an eye
Keep
on.
your eye out
social
for
media.
March 2026. There might be something coming.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Can you give us a hint? Just small, not too much.
No,
No?
I can't give you a hint.
thought we
I
were
really can't
buddies
give you a
now.
hint. I can't give you a
Okay,
hint.
fine.
You guys must just wait and see. Yeah.
I tried.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
tried
You
to
must
give
really
you
just
something.
wait and see. But
Okay.
all I can say is definitely for next year, I'm really trying to look at doing a few master classes and mentorship programs as well.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's all I can sort of elaborate on. What?
Okay, and that
Yeah.
leads me to my next question, which is my final question as well. You know, there are a lot of young designers out there in the country that look up to you and are inspired by the work that you do and the accomplishments that you have been able to obtain. What is your message of encouragement or word of advice that you would like to give to them?
Never give up on your dreams. Always believe in yourself and always believe in your purpose. You have a purpose. You were given your dream and your vision for a reason. Don't give up, doesn't matter how hard it may be. And don't forget to do your research. Research is
Yes.
very important because it all goes together with, you know, your dream becoming a reality. It's not an easy road, it's very difficult. And try to be as resilient as possible because it's tough.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I love that you did not hide the tough parts from them. So
Yeah.
be prepared to put in the hard work.
Yeah.
Melissa says inspiration comes from everywhere and always be an ambassador of your country,
Yes,
I think.
definitely.
In closing,
Definitely.
thank you
yeah.
so much, Melissa, for joining us on Real Spill.
Thank you so much for having me.
And I am Esther Kamati, and I'll see you again next week.